I screwed up.
You should have put it on first and then put it on.
I know. It's too late though because I already did what I did and we're just going to be okay with it.
Okay.
And I'm turning off the, I don't know why I started this. I'm like, dishwasher in the background, not really what we wanted to do. Whoa! Is that okay?
Yeah.
Are we golden?
Yeah.
Pony girl? Alright, let's get this show on the rizzle. I'm drinking sugar for breakfast because literally I haven't eaten. I am plugging this back in.
We are late.
Not really. We weren't going to go on at all today, so.
That's true, but.
But for our regularly.
Good.
That was funny. Okay. Can we load some bowls and shit first because
No.
it's been quite a day. Oh. Can you hear Jonathan? He's going on. Cracking up. Okay.
God, such an unhappy child you have down there.
Oh yes, my children are so neglected and abused. I'm terrible
Shows
parent.
through their laughing.
Yeah.
God.
The random laughter in my home.
Can't stand the children's laughter.
The random laughter in my home is great indication of the misery they endure here.
Hi. It's Kira.
We're getting on right now, everybody. Thank you for your patience. We appreciate it.
Yeah, that's good.
Do we want to share? Go ahead and share into groups and
Yeah.
stuff? Let's do it, because I feel like this is a pretty important one. We might as well do it.
For sharing.
My account is down, so I can't share from the one that I have all the groups.
I got you.
So just do the best you can. For our moderators, our editors, our CannaMama followers, please share this video into every cannabis space you're in if you can afford to. If you're out of the canna closet or willing to at least advocate for CannaMamas, regardless of if you're in the closet or not, because of course advocacy does not mean you consume, right? We tell people that all the time. Just because you're a cannabis advocate doesn't mean you have to be a cannabis consumer. We really need this video to spread around. We're going to be talking about the article that was published. Ooh, it's in my printer. I'll be back.
That did print?
It did print. Hold on, I'm getting it. Ah!
Because we made that news! Australian news, but the news. But Gina's going to go get it, so I'm going to wait. I'm going to continue to share this. Just sharing it. But we made the Australian news, and it was about consuming around our children, so that's what the show is about today.
Ooh, I'm back. Okay, how to run up to my office real quick.
Which, Belinda, if you're watching this, I read your article, and it's shit. However, I read that with an entire smile on my face, a huge-ass smile, because you have no idea what you just did for Cannamamas and the publicity you just gave us. So thank you.
No such thing
What's
as
up,
bad
Belinda?
press. Okay, so throwing shit on my blower. There you go. Just a little organizing before we get started. So, we've got a few viewers on already. Should we, I will go ahead and address the comments, I guess, right off the bat.
I'm sending this out. So.
Yeah, no, you do you. You do you, boo. We are just getting started. I'm about to pull up our little spiel.
What's up, Laura? I see you, girl.
I see you, baby.
I'll show you around. She's in Orlando right now.
I know, she's doing the damn thing.
I know, I'm kind of jealous.
Yeah, unfortunately, though, she's been suffering more.
I know,
because
of
of
migraines of the humidity.
Humidity, supposedly, that's wild. That blew my mind when I read that.
She thought she was going to live there one day. Guess again, girl. Sorry.
Gotta stay where it's dry, my love. We're not mad though.
We're not mad. We keep you here. We love you.
Let's see. I was doing something, but I'm like a squirrel and get distracted. I want my cannabis pregnancy impact statement, which you can find on my Google Drive. I don't know how to give like a public link to that.
I don't know either.
How about if I just drop it right here on the video?
Yeah, you can.
Let's do that.
That would be your best bet.
Let's do it. We are going to get a shareable link, copy link. We got that.
Hi, Allison. Hi, Allie. What's up, Jacqueline?
Mm-hmm.
I understand that girl. She's like, Belinda being in group makes me want to live in my alt. Ugh.
There's just nothing we can do about it, though.
Uh-huh.
We do the best we can.
We
They
do.
answer the questions correctly. They have a reasonably, they don't have anything that flags them on their profile, right?
Right.
We have to let them in. What are we gonna do? We're not private investigators. I don't got time for that shit. That's why we tell you all. What do we always say? No place is private. Screenshots are forever.
It's
And if you don't want your grandma to see it on the 9 o'clock news,
then don't
post it. Because it could end up there. It's the fucking internet, people.
Yeah. Hi, Belinda. What's going on, girl?
Is she on?
Yeah.
What's
Good
that girl?
Belinda.
Oh.
The good Belinda.
It's like the good witch
And the bad
witch. Oh, Lord have mercy. Okay.
Everybody calm down. That's not the Belinda.
It's not the Belinda. Don't get mean to Belinda. That's Bells. Okay. What up, Robert? We love you.
Hi, Robert.
All right, so I'm dropping right now the file on cannabis consumption and pregnancy given to us by Impact Network. Thank you very much, Dr. Michelle Ross. Shout out if y'all are interested in donating to Impact Network. They are always accepting donations on their website. Huge research organization. Please check them out. If you got $1 or $2, drop them. Hey, Lexi, thanks for joining us today. Let's see. Is it going to show up?
Yeah.
Yeah, it showed up, but it didn't do what I wanted it to do.
Sorry.
Okay, well, let's do it again. We're just loading our bowls,
It
sharing.
showed up like that on mine.
Perfect. I'm not going to do it again then. I don't know why I did that. Ta-da. Okay. We are...
What the fuck? You have to be like the fourth person I've heard my name.
She's like, why? Okay, I think we're ready to get started now.
Oh my god, there's a lot of weed in there. You could like roll a joint with that.
With what? Inside?
Yeah!
You know it's my house when.
Random, sorry guys, just trying to load this bowl and I'm looking down and there's like the space in between the table and the edge of it and I'm like...
It's like filled with cannabis. We're packing.
Packing it all the places, you can't see it.
So
Yeah, I know, I had to make it clear that you're not one and the same, girl. Calm down.
Okay.
Alright.
So, let's go ahead and do my little spizzle.
Hi, Lisa!
Alright, so I think we're ready. We're loaded up. We've got everything loaded, ready to go. Alright, so good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us. We spent the first few minutes getting ready, getting organized, whatnot, what have you. Thank you for tuning in to Coming Out with CannaMama Clinic. We are no longer on our old host. We are in my kitchen. We
We're not going back to the radio.
We're not going back to the radio. We got offers. We did some thinking. And we've decided that we are going to do our own thing like we do best. Hey!
That is what we do best.
So we're just going to continue with our little podcast. I mean, right here kind of works, so fuck it. We don't know really what we're going to do yet. But
The times might change because
The day
I'm
and
working.
time. Yeah.
I start my new job on Sunday, so I'll be working full time, and depending on my schedule is depending on when our new show is, like when our
Right.
shows are going to be.
It'll probably stay in the morning time.
We will keep you posted.
But yeah, so just so that you realize, our show is pretty much going to be in my kitchen, my dining area, until we decide otherwise. In case you don't know who we are, I'm the host, Gina Hope, lifestyle coach and manager of CannaMama Clinic. This is my co-host, Lady A, aka, I said that backwards, Amanda Hardy. Say hey, Lady A.
Hello.
So CannaMama Clinic, we are a Colorado state registered company, and we pledge to help cannabis consumers step out of the canning closet with advocacy services, entertainment, and community support in an effort to ensure the right to bodily autonomy for all.
I yawned during that. I'm very sorry.
She is so bored!
I heard this a million times. I'm tired today.
Please blaze up. Shit. Alright, so if you read the caption that goes along with the post, we weren't even going to do our show today. We've got a lot going on and have had a lot going on the last couple weeks. It's been pretty intense in CannaMama land.
But with this article coming out, we could not do a show.
I'm going to write a counter, and apparently they're still waiting for my comments, although I'm like,
I've seen them in the article.
what do you want me to say at this point? Because she's been in our group. She knows everything I have to say.
Since Sunday, she's been there.
So...
A few days.
Long enough to do some research.
Right?
Anywho. So this is the article. You can find it right now, probably with a very simple Google search. It's on...
I got it. I'm dropping it.
9news.com.au, something like that. It's written in Australia.
I just dropped it in the comments.
It was written while I was sleeping. Super. I think she's still sleeping. She should be anyway, for at least a few more hours.
Yeah, no, it's not the same. Not the same.
Let's see, I'm gonna get this up. Whoa, don't do that. Okay. I'm just trying to get our comments up so I can stay with it.
Stay with it.
Yep.
No, Belinda is not the same person.
Poor Bells. I'm sorry, my love. We love Belinda. The Belinda that's on here, Belinda Cruz, is an old friend of mine. She's
friends. She's
friendly.
friendly. We're
friends.
good. She's friends. She's CannaMama. Leave her alone.
Poor Bells. Okay. Everybody's saying hello. So yeah, this is the article. Doctors condemn smoking marijuana while pregnant or breastfeeding by Belinda Grant Geary, 1:23 p.m., July 25th, 2017. So 1:23 p.m. in Australia. I am sleeping. She hit me up on Twitter yesterday, wanting to know if I had an email address. I gave her my email address promptly. However, I don't really check my emails very promptly. I get hundreds of messages a day. So I double-checked that today after the article was dropped. She did email me asking me for a comment, and she asked me some very specific questions. Shall we?
Yeah.
Let's look at them. I guess we can talk about them while we're on air. She wrote me and says, "Hi, thanks for getting back to me so quickly on Twitter. My name is Belinda, and I'm a reporter from 9 News Australia. I am researching cannabis use in expectant and breastfeeding mothers and would love to get your take on it. I saw you posting in response to a viral image of an Oregon mother smoking a bong." Sorry, it was off the screen. I knew that didn't make sense. Sorry. I saw you were recruiting mothers for a research program, which she doesn't mention in her article. May I interject? Into the risks of breastfeeding while smoking marijuana. Has the study yielded any results? I'm pretty sure she could have contacted Texas Tech University.
She could have.
And Dr. Hale's
Oh, yeah.
team.
But she chose not
She
to.
didn't. Because you know what? This is something. If she had messaged Dr. Hale's team, she would have found that the results so far are fascinating, and they were completely unexpected.
And in CannaMama's favors.
And in CannaMama's favor. Dr. Hale actually, after he got a few samples, maybe like 3, I think was the magic number that he received. I can't remember. It could have been more. But he was concerned that the dosing was too low because the results were like they weren't finding any. But they weren't finding what they expected to find. So it goes on. The study is not concluded yet. They are still
looking for Cannamamas
participants. So yeah, if you're in the Denver, Colorado area, please, 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 we need people to pump for the cause. But yeah, so obviously she didn't talk to him because the most recent outcome of the only controlled study ever on breast milk and cannabis is showing positive results for Cannamamas. Would you be open to giving me a comment on why you advocate parents smoking while pregnant or breastfeeding? Why do I advocate? I think I wrote a whole article on why I advocate for pregnant and breastfeeding Cannamamas. What prompted you to believe there are no risks harmful enough to the child for a mother to stop smoking? Well, if we're talking about pregnancy, I wanted my child to live. I had already tried the pharmaceuticals. I tried this, oh my gosh, I'm pulling a blank. The drug.
Zofran?
Thank you, Zofran. The drug. I tried the Zofran. I tried the Phenergen. Is that how you pronounce it? I don't even know. Phenergen. Blah. I'm not a doctor.
You know,
or a nurse. I'm not a medical professional. I don't know how to say these drugs. I know how to say cannabis. That's what I know.
When I was pregnant with my daughter's about to be 2. So 2 years ago, they were just coming out and they were starting to sue Zofran for guess what? Birth defects. Guess what they were continuing to prescribe to women?
Zofran. So that's why I've been a cannabis consumer since I was like 13 years old. It's always been like almost a daily thing for me from the age of like 16. It was always something that I found beneficial to my life. I never felt like a drug addict and I've been a drug addict. I've been a cocaine addict. So I can speak as an addict and no, cannabis, not an addiction. Cocaine, I had an addiction, okay? So I can speak very confidently and say that no, I didn't feel addicted to cannabis. I used cannabis during my first pregnancy after nothing else worked. I did what was recommended. Stop all of anything you do. Don't drink. Don't eat lunch meat. You know what I mean? Like I had the what to expect while you're expecting by my bed, reading it like a motherfucking Bible.
When I was pregnant,
I was 22 years old.
Ice cream had listeria in it. And salad had listeria in it. Like, pregnant people, don't eat anything.
Don't do anything.
Don't do anything.
People.
Don't eat anything. Water. And hopefully it's not Flint's water because that shit's contaminated as fuck.
That was funny.
I wasn't trying to make it funny out of Flint's water. But I'm for real. Like,
So that's my story, is that I was that pregnant woman that gave up any and all possible contaminants or toxins or I had had so many miscarriages before I got pregnant with my son that I wasn't taking any chances. Cannabis, out the window, couldn't have cared less. Like, that was...
I'll admit to this on air.
Right.
So, when I was pregnant with my son, I stopped smoking cannabis. And I stopped smoking cigarettes. And then I ended up starting and smoked cigarettes through my whole pregnancy. But I didn't touch cannabis. Because I felt like it was somehow worse than cigarettes.
And that was how many years ago? Nolan's 9?
Yeah, Nolan's 8.
8, so 9 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and my son is 12, so we're talking 13 years ago. This was in 2004. I don't have very good I'm not a very, spunky, healthy pregnant woman. Pregnancy makes me extremely sick. Like I said, I lost multiple babies before my son stuck.
Or stuck to the walls of my uterus.
I don't know why I said that. That was funny.
Sticky pregnancy.
And I got a sticky pregnancy. That's what I was thinking. You know, like if you're a TTC type of woman, if you're trying to conceive.
I was going to say, I don't even know what that means. They're not one of those girls.
Well, if you didn't have trouble getting pregnant, welcome to our world. We both had a lot of trouble getting pregnant. And so there are communities for women online who are trying to conceive. And I was that lady. I was a obsessed young woman with getting pregnant with my son. I actually gave up on the hope because I had so many miscarriages and I just believed that I couldn't carry, and I got pregnant on a wild trip in Vegas. So whatever was in that water, thank you Vegas. But like I said, I did all the recommended things. I cared a lot about this baby and this pregnancy. It was not something I would have taken lightly.
Both my daughter and my son were fertility drug babies.
Fertility drug babies. So neither of us, and my daughter was planned. So none of us had these unexpected, unwanted children where we're just being
don't give a fuck.
Don't give a fuck. We're drug addicts. I read that in some of the comments on this news story that we're just druggies.
You have no idea.
You have no idea how hard we tried to have our babies,
and how much we love them, and how peaceful we are with them, and
we consider ourselves good mothers. So
I have people tell me, like, who just witnessed me parenting. They're like, you know what, you're a really great mom. In fact, I have a friend who's been hanging around, and he's just like, I'm amazed by the way your kids are so well behaved, and you don't spank them.
Thank you. So on that note, when I finally decided to use cannabis when I was pregnant with my son, I was in the hospital. And I was starting a miscarriage, and I was like, fuck this, and I went home and I blazed up. And for the first time in, I don't remember how long, it was 13 years ago, I found relief. I was able to eat. I wasn't puking constantly. I was able to get out of bed. I was able to drink water. And
necessary shit. I was able to smoke, and then I'd be able to eat some food.
Yeah. I actually was able to go back to college. I finished out, I had to take off a lot of time when I was sick at the beginning, and I was able to go back. I had my son early, so I didn't finish that semester, but that's another story. Just the idea to say that it was a callous decision or that we didn't do it for our children, you have no fucking idea what you're talking about, and it's extremely offensive. I used cannabis with my son's pregnancy because it was the last resort, and I was desperate to keep my child.
And then I've talked about how when I was pregnant with Aviana, how I had HG, and I quit smoking. I was 7 months pregnant, Gina. I was 7 months pregnant. I quit smoking for 3 or 4 days because I was just like, what if I have this on birth and we get transferred to a hospital? Because that was a fear. So I quit smoking and I lost 10 pounds. In 3 or 4 days at 7 months pregnant, that's not dangerous.
That is not healthy.
That is not healthy. That is not healthy for me. That is not healthy for the baby. That is dangerous. And my midwife looked at me and she said, you need to go home and fix this right now or I'm sending your ass to the hospital.
By fix this, she meant... So that was a long-winded explanation to her question of what prompted me to believe there were no risks. It's not that I believe that there are no risks.
Versus benefit.
Risk
Always.
versus benefit. We never actually say there's no risk because that would be irresponsible. There are risks to anything you do.
Anything. Driving a fucking car with your kid in it. There's a risk. Is it beneficial for you to get to the store over the small chance you might get into an accident? You weigh that risk all the fucking time.
And this is an interesting part too, is that we're not medical doctors, we're not medical professionals, we can't give medical advice. What we can do though, I'm a political scientist and I can absolutely discuss women's rights. And when you're pregnant and breastfeeding, I have the right to take the drug of my choice to medicate as I need for whatever illness or ailment or any whatever you want to say I have.
Women have the right to take pharmaceuticals knowing that it's going to lower their baby's IQ by 25%.
While breastfeeding.
While breastfeeding and while pregnant.
This is a known fact. This is all fact checkable. Go. Get on Google. Check it out for your damn self.
We're not liars.
We're not lying about this. So if women have the right to make those kind of determinations for their children's IQ by taking medications during pregnancy prescribed by doctors, who the hell are you to tell us that we cannot consume cannabis when there are no known risks comparative to that? Are you serious? Like, we're talking comparative drugs here. Here's another thing. Let's talk breastfeeding. Dr. Thomas Hale just recently had a conference here in the Denver metro area that Amanda and I both attended. It was special for lactation consultants, and
that was amazing.
It was amazing. During that meeting, Dr. Hale specifically quoted a fact that's also verifiable. Check it out. Less than 5% of known drugs that doctors prescribe to breastfeeding women are deemed unsafe, meaning do not breastfeed at all 100%, right? Lots of drugs come with risks, and women aren't told you cannot breastfeed.
You weigh the risk versus benefit.
You weigh the risk, the known risk, which, let me also tell you, there isn't really many known risks with a lot of these drugs because they can't be studied. So they're not studied. We don't know the risks until way later.
Way later. Like Zofran.
These children show these signs later because they cannot be studied on humans per. I'm having a hard time today. I'm sorry. My brain is so fried. I swear I've been like going since like.
It's just inhumane.
I'm like.
It's not
unethical.
Moral. It's unethical. Thank you. I was like unmoral.
It's ethic shit. I know. I was like.
Words. Thank you. Words. Teamwork right there.
Thank you. So you can't study on children and women and
pregnant women. Yeah.
So, everything that they think they know that they're advising is already studied and based off what's happened to children who were breastfed off women who were given these drugs. And the biggest point, again, that I have to continue to lay down, if women have the right to choose pharmaceuticals and over-the-counter medications that they know have risks, but do it for medical purposes, why can't Cannamamas do the same thing using cannabis? I'll wait.
Hold on, I'm going to read this comment. I wouldn't have even gotten pregnant without cannabis. I went 10 years with no period trying to get pregnant after being told I would not be able to produce ever again after traumatic miscarriage. Gave in and tried cannabis, and I have 2 back-to-back healthy pregnancies and babies. Awesome. Yay. What's up, Kendra? I see you, baby girl. What's up, Chelsea? With my first significant other threw a bigger fit about me smoking cannabis than he did about me chain smoking cigarettes. With my second, he advocated with me and for me to consume cannabis. Good for him.
My children's fathers both supported my consumption during pregnancy and breastfeeding. Both of my kids' fathers.
I really feel like if I would have chosen to consume cannabis while I was pregnant and more educated during the first time and had more support, not from my husband, but like from, I don't know, probably from like you.
Aww.
I would have known you back then.
Love you.
But I don't think that he would have had a problem because he supported my cannabis use the whole time that we were married otherwise. And then I did use it while I was breastfeeding, and that was never a problem. In fact, he never tried using cannabis against me until we divorced.
Okay, so let's talk about medical professionals really quick, too. I had a CPS investigation in 2016, 2015? 15? It was the end of 2015, November, I think.
Is that what it was?
Anywho, relatively recently, Jefferson County of Denver. That's not correct. Jefferson County of Colorado opened an investigation into my cannabis consumption while breastfeeding habits. Part of the reason they closed that investigation was because I gave them permission to speak to my children's pediatrician. My children's pediatrician has been with both of my kids since birth. I've never changed who I use, so they've seen me for the last 13 years because I met them while I was pregnant because I interviewed them because I care about my kids.
What, you care about your kids?
Oh my god!
I can't even believe it, Gina.
Wow. Yeah, that actually was one of the funniest parts of the entire article, was this last line where she says, a number of studies, well, this is a quote from Dr. Adams of well, fucking read the article. Dr. Adams, some stupid ass in Australia. A number of studies have found that parents who misuse substances tend to have poor parenting styles. This is from an NSW Department of Community Services report. Fancy that. The people that want our kids.
Legal kidnapping.
It is legal kidnapping.
I had HD with all of my pregnancies, and if it weren't for cannabis, my children won't be here today, says Christina.
So anyways, my children's pediatrician backed us.
And that was no
I've
problem.
breastfed through 2 children, and they are above the marks on flipping everything. My son is an honors student and completed his 6th grade year with all A's. Like, the entire year, from the beginning to the end, every single class.
He's abused.
Straight A's.
Clearly.
And he's in honors. Clearly, I fucked him up with my cannabis breast milk.
You must have. Shame on
So-
you making the public smarter.
I'm gonna go to the Facebook comments.
They were really bad.
And they're mostly not Americans, okay?
They're all from like Australia.
They're all
right?
from like Australia, mostly New Zealand. And you have to remember it's still highly criminalized there.
They look at it as like super bad drugs.
Like heroin. They're literally comparing it to heroin. I want to go ahead and review some of those comments as much as I can actually stomach because it's sweet.
Oh, this is sweet. Savannah says taking a dab for y'all because you have made my day in 5 minutes after a whirlwind of crap.
Thank you.
Thank you, girl.
Thank you. Actually, I need that link. I'm gonna be searching for it and I can't find it.
God.
Hold on, I'm going there. What's up, Katie?
I'm
Another
pasting it again in
one.
the comments. Most recent comment.
You did? I love you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I want to open this on another page though.
Hi, Amy.
Is that the one going to pull up the Facebook link though? I don't
know.
think
I
so.
don't think so.
Actually, hold on. I'm
I think
gonna
that
find
goes. Oh no, you're right. Oh my bad.
It's all good.
Yeah, you have to go look for that. Yeah. Jacqueline's like bodily autonomy first. Women know our bodies. Yes. Chris is like, yeah, fuck that. Cannabis heals.
So what I guess they're concerned with though, right? So they're concerned with what about the baby's right to bodily autonomy? Babies do have right to bodily autonomy. We argue that. We don't believe in spanking. We don't believe in circumcision. We don't believe in slut shaming. I mean, that's mental health of a young child. So we get it. We don't want children abused. We believe in children's right to bodily autonomy. We also believe that women have the right to choose their medicine.
Where and when and how they medicate.
You can't. Okay, if you're not telling a woman how to take her anxiety medicine that's prescribed in a pill bottle,
Why?
how are you telling us how to take this anxiety medication? Right here. This is one of the tools that's pictured in one of the pictures that went viral. Right here. She's using a nectar collector.
Which I would just like to point out that it's vapor,
It is vape.
not smoke.
And there were concerns, and I'll say it came from my own team. One of my team members messaged me yesterday and said, "Did you choose that pick?" I was like, "No, I didn't actually choose that pick, but I went with it because it was super controversial, and I knew it would hit hard." I was right. It's a fucking nectar collector near a baby. It has a hot tip.
It does.
Very hot.
This part does get hot. Like this tip, you just see me heat it up. However, I would just like to say that
It's already cool.
it's already cool.
That quick. And let me say, you want to know all the dangerous shit I've done around my baby? I've cooked.
I cooked in baby ward.
I baby wear while I cook.
That's dangerous.
As fuck, it's dangerous. And I'll tell you, it's also cultural all over the entire world. I'm an attachment mom. I've baby worn while I curled my hair. I've baby worn while, I'm trying to think of all the other like things that would be deemed like, oh my gosh, she did this. I rode a roller coaster while I was 14 weeks pregnant, like, you know, or 9 weeks, I guess, whatever. I got doctor permission. But, like, women take risks.
Tattoo of breastfeeding.
Tattoo. I did a tattoo while I was pregnant and breastfeeding. I eat sushi. I ate sushi while I was pregnant. It was fucking delicious. I
drank caffeine while I was pregnant.
I baby wore while riding a bike.
I did drugs while I was pregnant because I drank the caffeine.
You drank the caffeine. I rode a bike.
I drank caffeine when I was pregnant. I don't even drink caffeine now. True story.
I rode a bike while I was baby wearing and breastfeeding or pregnant. I mean, I could have fallen or gotten hit by a car, I suppose.
Most women aren't included in studies anyway because our hormones jack up their studies. I don't think that's true.
Actually, no, there's major patriarchal evidence to support that the health industry is based on men.
I believe that it's based on men, but I don't think that our hormones fuck up the studies.
I don't know why it is, but I know for a fact most studies are based on males.
Y'all are so dead on. I did not smoke during my pregnancy. I was shamed. I started smoking 2 months postpartum, and my depression, anxiety, and eating disorder all relaxed, and I was able to be happy about my baby. She is 8 months now, and I still smoke even while nursing.
Yay.
She's perfectly fine as well.
Yay, good for you. I just have so much to say. Because, you know, my brain's hopping all over, but I want to talk about assholes in the cannabis industry. Yes, I called you a fucking asshole, and you know what? In a minute, I'm about to call you out by name, because you're all over my page anyways. People in the cannabis industry, women, two of them, actually, who have no children, have no fucking clue what motherhood is like. Trying to tell me when I should medicate and where. And the other woman doesn't smoke cannabis. How are you going to tell me about medicating habits and my needs when you don't consume?
Right.
I'm going to write that down real quick.
When you don't have children, please.
Shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up.
Hey, dudes, with your fucking penises.
We don't
Shut the
give
fuck
a
up.
fuck.
I'm done arguing women's rights with fucking guys who have no clue what a pregnancy or breastfeeding is ever going to be like. Because you fucking little weak suck puke. If you had a clue, you wouldn't be arguing. You'd be the first motherfucker asking for the cannabis to hit it while you're pregnant and breastfeeding. So, fuck you. I'm not playing these games anymore. How's that for professional?
I found the comments on this article. What a future that child has, and taxpayers fund this. Hope she stops breastfeeding. Like,
Can we talk about the endocannabinoid system?
right?
Alright. Everybody who understands what an endocannabinoid system is, please stand up and raise your hand. Everybody that understands every human has the system and
Is born with it.
raise your hand. There is a lot of evidence to support that there are endocannabinoids in our breast milk and are the reasons, like, why you get, like, the milk drunk in babies, like the super cute
Sleepy
milk drunk. And that,
Tit-faced.
tit-faced. Oh my god, I love it. And, you know, that desire to just, like, get the munchies on the breast milk. You know, like, literally I've had babies at my boobs with just milk dripping from their face, and they're just so happy. Phytocannabinoids. That's where we talk about the stuff that comes from cannabis. That's where they talk about the psychoactive THC, the big danger. What if you have an endocannabinoid deficiency? What if 100 years of cannabis prohibition easily has created an entire human population deficient in endocannabinoids? I'm just like, what if?
And we also know that without endocannabinoids, like, mothers have a hard time breastfeeding.
We also suspect that lack of endocannabinoids are a big reason behind a lot of our autoimmune disorders that we aren't understanding why are spiking out of control in the last whatever many years. This part is not my science, let me tell you.
Right.
There are people that write books about this, okay? I highly encourage you to find them, seek them out. Dr. Michelle Ross, I'll mention her again. She's written Vitamin Weed, okay? She talks about all this in her books. Go donate to her organization. Donate to Impact Network so that we can continue to get this research and the funding to it that is so desperately needed. The education on this, it's not near well known enough. Obviously, we have doctors in here saying, hold on, this one was a really good one, and I was thinking about it while I was talking, and that's what threw me off. So he was this fucking asshole, I'm sorry. Dr. Bartone from the Australian Medical Association. He is the vice president. The vice president! And doesn't know jack shit about lactation and drugs and how exactly they work, because most drugs have a hard time passing the barrier after 6 weeks because the breast actually changes. Literally changes. The physical breast inside, the cells go like this. So the first 6 weeks, they're all like nice and things can pass through like really easily, right? And that's the time when people get prescribed like Percocets and Vicodin after they've had bad morphine. Yeah, and this is the most crucial time where we know drugs pass most fluidly through the breast milk, okay? After 6 weeks, what happens? I don't know why. I'm not a motherfucking doctor, but some reason it goes like this. And it tightens. Very few drugs can then get through. You know one that gets through still really easily?
Cocaine.
Cocaine. Okay? Even at like 6 months or whatever, 4 months, if you are breastfeeding and use cocaine, it will slide right through that puppy.
Okay.
Okay? Cannabis? Not so much. So what we've learned...
Your demonstration.
Yeah, that looked cute actually. Let's do that again. Beep, beep, beep. No. Okay. So again, I'm not a scientist. I can't explain why. These are just what I know, what was explained to me by Dr. Hale. If I went up to my office right now, I could find his little doodles where he didn't do this, but he doodled it on a piece of paper and explained it to me right to my face. You know, like I got the best, most personal one-on-one information with the lead researcher in the entire United States on all drugs and breast milk. Thank you very much. It was awesome. So the other thing that we don't know yet is this doctor says that, first of all, he says this: numerous studies have detected THC in breast milk. That's actually false. There are like 3 studies on breast milk and cannabis prior to the ones that are ongoing right now, and they are fucking horrible. This isn't just my opinion. That is the opinion of Dr. Teresa Baker, Dr. Thomas Hale, Dr. Laura Borgelt. I mean, these are people that I've interviewed. You can go to my YouTube channel and check out my conversation with Laura Borgelt, okay? The studies suck. We don't have them. So to say there's numerous studies
That's
to
what
show...
Dr. Hale said when we were at his conference. He was just like,
they suck.
all the studies suck and they're bullshit and they were done poorly and they were done wrong.
He was adorable, okay?
It was like, he was very real with us. He like even told us about the study that was done for fertility and cannabis. Like they literally injected THC into an embryo.
Right, into the embryo. Directly
into the embryo. What does this do? Kills it. Oh fuck, it causes miscarriage. That's that. Cannabis causes miscarriage.
Science. Okay? So this is why we say the way studies are conducted matters. Research methods matter. Whether the study was controlled matters. Okay.
The basic shit that you learn in fucking elementary school when you're doing your science studies, you guys. Keep that shit in your head when like you're looking at these studies.
He says, obviously a baby's brain is still in a very developmental, immature stage of forming, and marijuana is associated with significant long-term health risks. Is it now?
Including
Significant long-term health risks. That is against like all the latest research.
Yes.
And I'm not even talking from the United States. We're talking straight out of Israel. Go look at any of the latest studies on cannabis and autoimmune disorders such as Crohn's disease, epilepsy, things that we don't know how to fix these things, okay? It does not show long-term health risks or psychosis, and in fact some of the latest research even contradicts old studies about the dangers affecting adolescent and forming brains.
Right.
Now, for the record, CannaMama Clinic does not endorse or promote getting adolescents high. Mm-hmm. We don't. Like, we support Cannamamas. We support Cannamamas, the organization that helps moms who need to medicate their children for certain reasons. But we are not out here just willy-nilly condoning recreational adolescent use. Do we understand it happens? Sure. Have we talked about it? Absolutely. But that's not our gig. So to even to insinuate that our position is that it's acceptable to get babies and toddlers high, whether secondhand from our breast milk, secondhand from smoke, it's absolutely ludicrous. We would never. We don't even endorse getting your animals high.
No.
Like, it's not funny.
Don't blow it in their face. It's not funny.
So he goes on to say there is absolutely no reason to put young, developing brains at risk, and there is no way we could even begin to endorse such a practice. The way we practice medicine right now, the way doctors in all countries prescribe medications to breastfeeding mothers directly contradicts his statement about cannabis. This is literally reefer madness fear-mongering in print because they do it all the time. They always, often, with many different medications, find reasons to put young developing brains at known risks, and they endorse it all the time.
They do.
So, fuck you, Dr. Bartone. Dr. Bartone goes on.
They even use it on babies and hospitals, like newborns in hospitals if needed.
Dr. Bartone claims also there's no way to determine a safe level of THC for babies and says there's a serious lack of information on the extent of long-term damage. I'd agree. There is a serious lack of information on pretty much all of these drugs, and cannabis is included, especially because it's been a Schedule I narcotic for so long. As far as a safe level for THC, can we talk about that? Dr. Hale isn't even sure if what goes into the breast milk is actually THC or if it is the... Oh my god, I'm like pulling blanks left and right here.
Cannabinoids?
It's not the cannabinoid. It's the protein. I don't know why I'm pulling like such a blank on the word, and it's like I can see it. It's on the tip of my tongue. I hope someone's writing it. Please, someone fucking help me out. But this is like the science part. You know what I mean? Because our bodies take the THC and then they turn it into a protein. So whenever the drug tests, it's not testing for THC. That's not what you piss hot for.
It's protein.
It's the thing. I'm like, is Danielle on
Ketones?
I can't, no. It's a long, I want to say antibody, but I know that's not right. And so I'm fucking this up. But if you are a biologist, you know what I'm talking. I'm a political scientist. I didn't take science class until like after biology year, my freshman year of college. I did get an A. But I haven't, you know, like I've learned all of this by going to cannabis conferences, by reading my ass off, by interviewing medical professionals and other people that know a lot fucking more than I do about the way the brain works and drugs and the body and etc. And all I'm doing is trying to disseminate the information to the masses. That's it. Trying to make you understand that we're not harming our children, nor do we believe we're harming our children, and we have the right to medicate as we choose. On that note, the final question that Belinda Grant Geary, the author of this really terrible, fucking poorly done article, asked me was, do you think there is an argument for edibles over smoking? Well, of course there is. Edibles can be a cleaner form of consumption, and I say can because it depends on the individual.
And your liver process, everybody's liver processes it differently.
Correct.
Period. So what an edible feels for me like won't be the same what it feels like for Gina.
And it won't be the
amount.
same. Okay, look, it won't be the same for me from day to day depending on what I eat.
Same thing, yeah.
So edibles are a lot harder to manage dosing. So when you're talking about a woman who has to care for a newborn, and then all of a sudden you're expecting her to experiment with edibles, because even as I'm very comfortable with edibles. And every time I take it, I'm not really sure what's going to happen. Because sometimes it's going to hit me super hard and put me on my ass and I need a nap. And sometimes I just eat them and eat them and eat them. And I'm like, shit.
This is great.
This is like, either it's awesome and I stay super balanced, or I never feel it. Like I never feel better.
Right.
So edibles, I don't really recommend.
You know what?
I very rarely recommend to pregnant and breastfeeding women for the reasons I'm stating.
Andrew from Tip Top Shelf Budgeting doesn't recommend them either like that.
People just think because there's no smell, oh, it's automatically like what you should do.
Healthier, it's what you should do.
Look, there's lots of reasons you can't. If you're pregnant and you try edibles, how are you supposed to keep it down if your problem
It's
is
also
keeping
depending
food
on
down?
how you make the edibles, like, and how it's so weird.
Money.
It does cost money. It's a lot of money.
It's
to make
a lot
edibles.
of money to make edibles unless you have access to like a lot of trim. So like if you're growing plants and you have a lot of like stuff that back in the day we literally, and this is when I owned a dispensary, we threw it out. A lot of our trim we straight tossed in the dumpster. I know people are probably freaking out hearing that, but it's the truth. We had plenty, and we used other stuff to like our little small buds to make our actual product, and we just threw out a ton of stuff that we could have sold, but we just didn't really know better back then. It was 2008. Like maybe 9. The things you learn over the years. Do we want to answer any of these questions?
I'm trying. Actually, the one girl says I'm torn between staying for the slide and going to pick up a baby toy I found online. Yeah, Belinda says that edibles were so strange for me. It was more of a body relaxer. A lot of medicine does not react the same in any person. I don't know why that shit is so puzzling to anyone in and out of the medicinal or cannabis community. Yeah, the medical or the cannabis community. Correct. Like it's so different for everyone. Like who fucking knows how it's gonna affect you? Sometimes edibles really put me on my ass. Honestly, there was one time I ate. It was like a teaspoon of butter, and.
She's just grubbing down butter.
No, it wasn't like that.
Yes, it was.
It was actually, it was on a piece of bread with some sugar and some cinnamon. Damn it. It was so good.
You're just
Makes me hungry right now.
sitting with a spoon.
But for real, like, I like ate a piece of toast with some butter on it, and like, I can't tell you like how high I was. Like, oh my god, like thank god it was at nighttime
and
my
that's the
kids were
thing.
asleep because like I was sitting there dying laughing.
That was kind of one of their points. I think it was the Dr. Penny Adams of Sydney. She talks about the health, welfare, legal ramifications of breastfeeding moms, and how did I go the wrong way? My bad. And she says, first of all, smoking may cause them to have impaired judgment, and they are looking after a new baby. Are you joking?
I'm pretty sure.
I had more problems with sleep deprivation than cannabis intoxication as a new mom.
Oh, for sure.
Are you fucking kidding
Definitely.
me?
I mean, my ex-husband didn't even wake up. He literally didn't wake the fuck up when I was getting up in the middle of the night all the time, every fucking time.
So yeah, I breastfed for 3 years with my second and 15 months with my first, and neither of my children's fathers barely got up a single time through the nights. as in like not even once. And my husband, who I'm still married to, will testify to that. He considers himself very lucky, but we kind of had a deal. He did poop duty, and I was on night duty often. Like, I don't think I cleaned a poop diaper the whole second year of her life, easily. Maybe I'm exaggerating, but it seemed like a good deal to me. Whatever. Okay. I just want to know if anybody has any direct questions for us before we go ahead and close up. We have been on almost an hour, and I don't think we were planning on doing a full show, even though we went on. So I just want to see what some old comments were. Do you have more access? Because I don't have shit.
Someone without sound is dying over your demo. Left my ass off. Sorry, late ladies, I'm so late. The hello loves. Belinda makes a really good point right here. Laugh my ass off. Secondhand smoke from smoke. Even the army knows that is not possible. Hotboxing for D's with blunt after blunt would be the only way to get a slight contact high.
Okay, wait. So let's talk about that. You're right. The toxicity, though, of carcinogens in secondhand smoke. Okay?
Yeah.
Let's talk about it. That's what...
That's what a lot of these comments were in arguments.
Oh, yeah. That's the one
But
that
I would
came
just like to
directly
say
from
that
Amy.
the carcinogens in cannabis are not cancer-causing like they are in cigarettes. First of all, it is not the same thing.
It's not.
And it's not worse. I seen somebody say that cannabis was worse than cigarettes. You're a fucking moron. It's not worse.
No. See, facts matter.
Facts matter.
And
Use your brain, please and thank you.
Here, look.
Critical thinking.
This is what I've been saying over the last few days before this article even came out, because this article was written because some controversy has been happening, right? So this woman, not a CannaMama clinic member, shared a photo of this photo. This photo here. She shared that photo into another CannaMama group. Something like that, right? A CannaMama spin-off type of group. In fact, it's one of our better known reject groups. Mm-hmm. So, it got picked up, and obviously you see what happened. It went viral. This poor woman, I feel so bad for her. I wrote a post recently kind of reminding everyone, like, if you're not willing to fight the fight, don't share this kind of stuff. Like, you cannot take these risks unless you know you're willing to go up against CPS. Like, I have a CPS investigation open right now, and people want to continue these against me. They're like, oh yeah, you did this, good. I'm going to keep calling on you.
And I just want to say this picture specifically, like the one that did go viral. When I look at this photo, I see a really fucking beautiful photo.
I love the photo.
I love the photo. Like, baby is brand new and nursing, and mom is super postpartum, like barely. Like, this baby is fresh. And maybe a home birth, for that fucking matter.
She's
like, and I always see it's like another woman helping another woman out, like her friend helping her out. Like, it reminds me of when my friend Kaylee came and took care of me. I mean, like, she didn't hold a bong for me, but, like, she came and took care of me, and it's so rare to find those kind of friendships that a woman will come help you like that.
It's what we want. That's CannaMama community, okay? So even though the picture wasn't shared in our group, we were like, yes, we loved it. Somebody, when it got picked up and the bad stuff started happening, a friend of this woman shared into our group what was going on.
And she's like, this is my friend, she's really scared, and we're like,
freaking out.
Did we invite her into our group?
I heard she's gone.
Oh, she did get off Facebook.
Yeah.
Well, I hope she creates a new account and comes to us.
I heard she's scared shitless and running, but
I get that, but like, you really cannot post anything on the internet that you cannot expect on the 9 o'clock news.
So, but this is one of the concerns coming straight from someone from the cannabis community, and it's one I keep hearing over and over. And this is from Amy St. Charles Call. Her husband is Matt Call, and I think Matt is amazing. Matt has done some outstanding work for vets in the cannabis industry, especially here in the state of Colorado. However, I would love for him to have a talk with his wife, and not in that patriarchal way, but like education way, because he can sit here and talk about each cannabinoid with such scientific exactness that I was just like dumbfounded, like just sitting there like mouth open, listening to every word he said at the last time I was at one of his speaking engagements. But let's see. It looks like she might have erased it. Screenshots are forever. I got it. Hold on. I'm going to read exactly her words because I don't want to fuck it up.
She deleted it.
Yeah. I can't find it. I don't see it unless Facebook's hiding it from me, but I don't see it.
Got it.
You know where it's at. It's on this account. I'm sorry, everybody. I have
5
account
million
issues right now because I was banned on my main account for 30 days for exposing racism. It's unreal. Like, I'm still shaking my fucking head at that, but I'm looking. It's on this. There it is. Oh, yay. Pops right up. Here it is. She said, I don't care what you say. That's so arrogant.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for listening, Amy. I don't care what you say. Secondhand smoke is secondhand smoke, whether it's cannabis or cigarettes. Have enough respect for your kids to keep it away from them. Seems like a no-brainer to me. Well,
Does she have kids?
they do have children, but she's not a cannabis consumer. The last I was there as she said that in front of a crowd of people, from what I understand. And her husband was military and didn't start cannabis until he needed it for PTSD. So we're not talking about 20-year cannabis community cultured type people here, okay? Although he's very smart and he's picked up fucking rapidly, we're not talking about cultured people here.
We were called a subculture.
We were called a subculture. Okay, I just have to read.
Sorry.
This comes from one of our teammates, and I apologize for not realizing who it is because it's under an alt, and I haven't figured out who's everybody's alts yet. But Lilith says, I don't care what you say. She's mocking Amy. She says, food is food, whether it's moldy in the dumpster or fresh and sanitary. I loved it. And she says, I don't care what you say. Water is water, whether from a dirty puddle or a Brita filter. She's cute.
Oh, I guess we are a subculture.
We pulled out the dictionary. Sorry, we were upstairs talking. We were having our own discussion upstairs before the show started. I told her, you need to put this on the flippin'.
We need to look it up.
We need to look it up. We need to know what we're talking about. So, yeah.
So I have these comments right here.
Go.
Are you joking? It's on the 9 News comments. Are you joking? Seriously, what a poor excuse of a mother. Absolutely disgusting. This baby needs to be taken away from his junkie mom and be charged.
We're junkies now.
We're junkies.
Okay.
To each their own. It's only dangerous if tobacco is used with it, and Americans don't add tobacco. I think that's funny.
That is really funny. We don't add tobacco into our cannabis typically, but we do smoke blunts.
Yeah, and then there's a lot of cannabis smokers who also smoke cigarettes, and that's also not good.
Right. Correct.
So,
wait, is that, hold on. It's my daughter.
These two women are absolutely ridiculous using marijuana at the same time. The one other woman breastfeeding her child, slowly killing these innocent children, worsen scenarios, making the child drug addict slowly. Both women should be punished by calling the DOC's Department of Child Protection, so this poor child will be taken away from people like her. And the same welfare should stop their welfare subsidies.
So I have a really, really awesome idea. And this came to me while I was brushing my teeth before we started the show. And I don't feel like I'm like,
No.
I'm not telling on anything because nobody does what we do, so fuck them. We are going to start a CannaMama CannaMama wall of shame.
That'll be great.
And if we fucking find you threatening a cannabis consumer with CPS anywhere on the internet, or you say anything horrid about Cannamamas, or you say anything disgusting about women in general, Alex Cahoe, I'm talking about your ass.
Evo Labs.
Evo Labs. We
Evo
haven't
Labs,
forgotten about you. We are putting you, your quote, your profile pic, and all the information that we can find about you publicly for everybody else to fucking find too. Because you want to sit here and shame us, we're gonna shame you too. Fuck you. You're not gonna do this to us anymore. You're not gonna fucking scare us. You better be scared, unless you're okay with having your words blasted all over the fucking internet.
And it doesn't
too.
matter if you delete them because it'll still be there.
Screenshots are forever.
And you can't report it to Facebook and have it taken down because
No.
it's gonna be on
our
website.
Look forward to it. CannaMama Wall of Shame coming to a fucking internet link near you. That's happening. I'm excited about it.
So I don't see any comments.
I don't know. I feel like we kind of covered everything.
I don't have any questions.
You know, like we dropped the link about Impact Network, pregnancy and breastfeeding. We talked about breastfeeding studies. We've talked about women's rights to medicate as we choose while pregnant and breastfeeding comparative to pharmaceutical medications and over-the-counter medications. We've talked about our own personal experiences. We've talked about edibles as a safer alternative to smoking. You know, I'm sorry if we forgot something. But I feel like we've covered as much as we possibly can on why we feel it's okay for Cannamamas to consume around their children. Oh, no, we forgot one other
asthma,
thing.
by the way.
Normalization.
Normalization.
We didn't talk about
We didn't
normalization.
talk about normalization.
I'm not hiding my cannabis consumption around my children. Do you hide your beer around my children? Because let me tell you, I would prefer
course
you
you
do.
do.
When I take my kid to a baseball game.
Drunk people are horrible, especially around kids. They have no concept that there's children around.
No concept. They're awful. They're
like,
disgusting.
they're just fucking drunk.
Yeah, I mean, and it's everywhere. I've taken my kids to a late night movie downtown, and then we're walking to our cars and see like craziness, drunken behavior. My own family was impacted by a drunk a few years ago that cost us a lot. So I would really prefer that you hide your liquor, okay? I don't hide it whenever I have to. I don't hide my vitamins. I take my vitamins every single morning.
I don't hide my cannabis. I actually do drink in front of my children.
I do drink in front of my
I
kids.
don't get drunk in front of my
I don't
kids.
get drunk in front of my kids.
But they have had me seen a drink at dinner, and then when I was with my ex-husband, I would hand him the keys, and they'd see me not drive home.
I think responsible consumption of anything is important. Like, I'm talking about soda pop, right? Like, you want to drink and here's my like non-caffeine whatever, because we don't really dig that, but whatever.
Do you have another one of those?
Yeah, help yourself. I'm drinking sugar for breakfast because I still haven't eaten yet today. But like, I want my kids to learn responsible habits for everything. You know, I don't want them to be addicts for anything, whether it be sex or video games or food.
Moderation is key, guys.
Exactly. So I'm not hiding my cannabis consumption around my children. I'm not going to make them think that it's something bad that should be shamed. So.
And I also want to mention that cannabis, like asthmatic patients use cannabis. Asthmatic.
I have asthma. I've had it since I was like 2. I got my asthma because my parents smoked cigarettes in enclosed places like our home and our car from the time I was born.
Yeah.
And I still suffer from that.
That's
But
not cool.
I don't have episodes very much anymore. And
Imagine that.
the cannabis controls it pretty freaking well.
It also strengthens your lungs.
So I don't think that we have anything else to say. Any other last minute
Questions, comments? That's how we teach our children responsibility and moderation, by watching us. I've had asthma my whole life.
Jasmine said something good.
My
Jasmine said my
was a drunk.
abuser was a drunk. Hell yeah, lady, I'm sorry. Love
Sorry,
you.
lady. This is how we see it. People take pills in front of children. It is legal. And then why can't you smoke in front of a child? It's all medication.
Or, I mean, and also we're talking about cigarettes too. Cigarette butts are everywhere. You know, and in the state of Colorado, or maybe it's just, I think, is it just the city of Denver? No, we have the Colorado Clean Air Act. Okay. I like this. We have a Colorado Clean Indoor Air Act. You can't smoke within like 50 or 100 feet. I can't remember the exact number. I want to say 50. Maybe it's 100.
It is 50 feet.
Is it? Of like the front entrance or any entrance of a building.
Business.
Like a public establishment. Awesome. Doesn't mean that really helps. The other day I was walking down the street and there were two guys smoking on their stoop. Like, so this is like up in their front yard and I'm walking down the street. I'm about half a block down and I could still smell their cigarette smoke lingering down the block. Mm-hmm. You know? I recently posted about my asshole neighbors. two units down who were smoking out on their back patio. I had my fan in the window blowing in because my daughter likes the sound of the cool night air, and it blew smoke into my house at 4 in the morning-ish. Mm-hmm. Not happy. You know, can we get a control on those type of things before we attack women who consume cannabis while pregnant, breastfeeding, or during stages of motherhood in their homes safely with their children present? Can we please?
Yeah, and Jacko says I'm more in shape and my breathing is better regularly with cannabis. Help my cardio. Oh yeah.
All right.
Honestly, I quit smoking cigarettes and I could run 2 miles. And I was still blazing the fuck up.
Well, if people don't know me right now, I work out a lot and I am very active, and that's part of what we talk about, nurturing natural fitness and everything like that. And I mean, I hit weights, I run, and stuff like that, and I consume a lot of cannabis. I'm up in the gym, working on my fitness.
Yes, girl.
Okay.
I'm glad you know.
So, thank you for joining us today. We appreciate all of the support. If you are a CannaMama supporter, I cannot urge you enough to please find these assholes on social media. Send me the screenshots. You can send it to Ask the CannaMama at CannaMamaClinic.com, Gina at CannaMamaClinic.com. What is yours? Amanda Hardy at CannaMamaClinic.com. You can reach us at CannaMamaClinic at gmail.com.
You can find me on Facebook with Amanda Hardy. You can find me on Facebook with Amanda K.
Instagram.
We
do check. We will get this, and those people will be shamed on the CannaMama wall of shame. And that's going down, and if you're interested, we have these t-shirts available for purchase on our website. Thank you. Love you. Bye.